Hi, welcome to a quick tutorial on the basics of LITPro Vision. LITPro Vision is a brand new feature in the LITPro app that's out in beta now. So check it out. The first thing you do, even before you get into the app though, is go out to the track and record your rider doing one section 2 times. So take 2 videos of your rider in the section, keep the videos under 15 seconds, and we recommend you pick landscape. Also set your phone to record at 60 frames a second and 4K. Those are our preferred settings. Give that a try. Once you've done that, come back and you've recorded now 2 videos in landscape. So let's select this landscape option in the upper left here. Once you're here, there's a bunch of filtering buttons that are going to make organization of your videos really easy. I know I recently just took these videos, so I'm going to pick the last 7 days filter, and I'm going to scroll down here to, yeah, here they are. So there's my video, and there's my video. And to pick your video, you sometimes want to preview it. Take a look at this, and these options right here are going to be your best friend right here. Check them out. I'm not going to go into them in this video, but give them a try. Tagging your rider lets you see their little icon on your photo, making it really easy. So now you hit begin once you've selected your 2 videos. And the first thing you want to do is come over here, and we have an entire video focused just on how to set frame locks. But we'll go through it really quickly here too. We're using that telephone pole and the helmet to mark our middle frame lock. And what we're trying to do is synchronize the video. So really simple task. I'm going to keep these videos pretty short, so I'm going to select just a short portion of the riding here. I use that telephone pole. Now I'm going to use the corner of this building right here and this telephone pole with this rider's helmet. I'll do the same thing here. So we got the helmet and the telephone pole just like that. So in frame lock, got it. And what we could have done is we could add more frame locks if we wanted to synchronize the video even more. So sometimes that's helpful. 3 frame locks is enough though, and so I'm going to go with that. Now here we're being presented with the options for enhanced analysis. And enhanced analysis is enabled by the rider tracking. We're going to use without rider tracking to begin with, so we'll tap that button there. And that's it. Now we're in analysis mode. First thing we see is here at the start, our riders, remember the telephone pole, we're synced up and it's equal. Makes sense. We get to about the middle point and we're synced up, but notice that we have one rider that's faster by 0.23 seconds. So what does that mean exactly? Take a look at the sync on position button down here. So we can turn it to sync on time, and then it runs our frames at exactly the camera's frame rate, which is, we took these videos at 60 frames a second. So we have a lot of resolution there, but what this means is that 0.23 seconds is about the gap between the telephone pole and right there. So that's about almost a bike length right there. That's what 0.23 seconds means. And if we run this out to the end, remember that's our telephone pole, that's the helmet. So we're talking about this distance right there that's a half a second right there. So it starts to add up to being a lot at higher speeds. So that's the basics of the analysis. Now, we're telling you that one rider is faster than the other. Sometimes that's really easy to see, but what is really helpful with this tool is we can start to break down why. So now when we put the video synced on position, now we have the rider in the same position at all times, and we can start to break down stuff like rider technique or suspension. So let's start here. We have one rider that's just getting to the seat. The other rider was already on the seat, so we could point out some differences to the rider on standing versus sitting. Here we have the top rider putting his leg out a little bit earlier than the bottom rider. So there's a lot of things that we can start to learn from, and if you want to get in close, then you can just use your fingers to pinch and zoom in on the rider. And go a little bit further in there, do the same thing. So really it's up to you. This tool is going to be really valuable if you have a good question to ask. If you're not asking any questions, you're not going to learn that much. But if you have a good question, there's probably no more powerful tool than this to get the answer. Now, we want to see some of the more advanced features perhaps, like auto zoom and overlay. So let's go back into edit mode. go into tracking, and let's run rider tracking. And it's automatically going to find our rider and track it for every frame in the video inside of our frame lock range. And this is where it's really important that your rider is always in view from where you recorded. So if it goes behind a tree or another rider gets in the way, it might get really difficult, but there's some tools for making that all work. So there'll be other videos to help you figure that out. So now once we have some of these enhanced analysis modes turned on. We have auto zoom already enabled, and we also have the option to overlay. So again, we're auto zooming. We can turn that off with the click of that little button, turn it back on. We have sync on position. Now that we have the telephone pole back there, rider here, just like we saw before we zoomed out. So all that's just the same. But now, since the rider's always in zoom, you can really start to learn things. You can keep an eye on, for example, touches to the clutch, foot position. It's a lot easier to pay attention to what the suspension is doing through the bumps. All kinds of things that you can learn and help coach a rider to get a little bit faster. So we want this rider above to get to this mark here. We want him to go a little bit faster, and this is a great way for him to start to pick that apart and figure out how to get faster. So the other option is overlay mode. Now it keeps the bikes really right on top of each other, and you can change the opacity and start to see little differences perhaps. But what we want to do is give you the tools to ask good questions and then get amazing answers on how to get faster and learn things on the track. Pay attention to a few other things. For example, the play button. Both these play and slow motion. They work in any of the modes. You can turn them off and on while they're playing, get the best analysis. And then finally, take a look at the share options right here.